What happens when a modder gets caught by the psychic octopus? He gets banned. Hello, I'm Fuse from Exile, and this is breaking news. Well, actually, by now, for most of you, it's probably late news. For those of you who possibly may be living under a rock or, heaven forbid, actually depend on me for your news, a couple of days ago, Supercell declared war on modders in all of their games. For those of you living under an even bigger rock, a modder is someone who mods or modifies their games. They're cheating. These are cheaters. This is a complete 180 on their previous stance on the subject. Supercell has always taken what some would actually consider a don't ask, don't tell approach to modding. They'd say it's against the rules, but then they wouldn't enforce those rules. People would go to the forum and complain that they were losing to cheaters in Clan War, and they'd get turned away. Oftentimes their threads would get locked or in some cases deleted, and the mantra would begin: report the cheaters in-game. Go to settings, and then find help and support, and send in your complaint, along with a screenshot if you have it. And then you get back a forum letter, which, if it is the first time you've seen it, it makes you hopeful. And then they respond, and they say, hey, we're all about fair play too, but we don't have enough evidence to do anything with this case. Could you send us a video? Could you put this on YouTube? And some people stop right there. They say, why should I have to do your job? I told you where the problem is. Find it and fix it. And other people are all too eager to throw together a video. Some of them going through great lengths to explain with commentary what's going on in the video and why it's cheating. Way back in Attacks in Exile episode 7, yeah, when I first started putting Clash of Clans on YouTube, I made an episode on cheating. This was when they killed Ghost Attacks the first time, and also when they added the attack confirmation screen. One of the big ways people were cheating back then was in sandbox mode, meaning that they were able to practice attacks over and over on a base until they found the way to 3-star it, and then only then would that attack count. For a few days, Supercell had taken away the sandbox from the cheaters. But the cheaters found a way around that. All they needed was one replay, and they can get the information needed from that replay in order to cheat. They were still cheating, but at least now they had to burn an attack. And this is because of the way replays work. They are not video files. Video would take up way too much memory. They are a series of instructions and plot points, a map of the attacks that we use on a base. All the replay does is show what happens according to the AI of the elements used in that replay. And that's why nothing is random in this game. Even things that seem random are not random at all. That's also why replays are deleted after an update. If they update the AI of a character in the game, that replay won't play out the same way anymore. So they delete it. Well, in that data file, trap locations and clan castle troops are also stored. And that's why the sandbox programs now need a replay in order to work. Their sandbox intercepts the data and it knows where to put the traps and what troops to put in the clan castle so they can practice. What do these attacks look like? Well, the obvious ones are single troop drops, just one barbarian or one hero and nothing else. The less obvious ones make an attempt to actually appear to be a legitimate scout, actually fishing for traps. But the smart ones, they try and 3-star your base legitimately on the first hit. And those are the ones you'll never know were cheating. So they drop a troop, a single troop. We know it's not a legitimate scout. They don't trip any traps, they don't trigger the clan castle, and they end the battle. And a few hours later, that base is hit again and 3-starred by a miraculously flawless attack. So you make a video, you send it to Supercell, and Supercell responds by saying, scout attacks are a legitimate strategy in war. It's like they didn't even watch the video. Or maybe they watched the video, or worse yet, they've never played the game and they don't understand the process. Either way, it's super frustrating. Or sometimes they'll respond and say, hey, thanks for reporting the cheaters. We've dealt with it. But then you'll go back and check those players' bases a few days later and they're just as active as before. In the last big update we had, the Bowler update, they actually found a way to help stop a lot of those sandbox attacks. They found a way so that the trap locations and the clan castle troops would not be exposed until they're triggered. And this meant that a simple replay would not be enough to steal the data. But hackers are smart and they find a way around things. That's what they do. And they figured out how to steal their data from a live replay. So the sandbox attack was still possible, but the sandboxer had to be on to catch the attack live in order to get the information from it. So it was still possible, but it was more difficult. And that's the problem. The hackers are always going to patch whatever fix Supercell puts into place, no matter what. So the cheaters get smarter, they get better, and they stay hidden, many of them pretending to be fair play. And that brings us to the new Supercell. They're no longer trying to stop the modding. Instead, they've learned how to detect it, and they're going to start banning people. It's a new era. Last week, words like iMod or Xmod or cheat, they weren't even allowed on the forum. They were censored, and that gave birth to Fluffy Bunny. And if you're not familiar with the forum, you have no idea what I'm talking about. New people will come onto the forum and they'll see references to bunnies and carrot eaters, and they won't understand. They'll say, hey, what are bunnies? What are carrots? Well, here's the rundown. These are bunnies, and these are carrots. Whenever somebody complains to Supercell that a clan is inappropriately named, they look into it. And if they agree, they will change the name of that clan without speaking with them. Typically, the clan would get renamed to something that was the extreme opposite of what they were before, something extra kid-friendly. And Fluffy Bunny was commonly used. In fact, if you search the clans today, you can see a lot of clans named Fluffy Bunny, and most of them did not choose the name for themselves. Every online community has its culture, and in the Supercell forum culture, things that we didn't talk about were called Fluffy Bunny, and the title was adapted to cheaters. Until just a few days ago. People are going nuts everywhere. On Twitter, Facebook, whatever social media you use these days. Reddit, the forum, global chat, they're all going crazy over this. One group of people is very happy, and the other very angry. And those of us who are happy about it know that those who are angry about it are angry because they're cheaters. And some of the justification for their cheating is pretty comical. If you're a cheater, you will be found out, and your account will be banned. If you've put any money or any substantial amount of time into this game, don't let that get thrown away. Delete your cheats, or call it quits, as many known modder clans have already done. Others will be discovered, and some will out themselves. Some are exposing themselves now as modders, saying they used to mod but now they're done. For example, I used to mod. That's right. In 1990, when Galoob, licensed by Codemasters, came out with their Game Genie for the Nintendo Entertainment System, I was all over it. My friends and I had lots of fun with that one. But the difference is there were no leaderboards back then. There was no online community. There was no online. We weren't cheating anyone because we were all sitting in the same room playing on the same device. But Clash of Clans is played in an online community. There are benefits and perks to being in the best clans that have the best performance. And when you cheat in a game like this, not only are you stealing those perks from other players, you're bringing the morale down in the game. Oftentimes, those who don't cheat feel like they can't compete with those who do, so they resort to cheating, or they stop playing the game. There are people who are upset about this, though. They act like in order to compete in high-level clan war, you have to cheat. Actually, you don't have to cheat. But if you're gonna beat a modding clan, you better be very good. And if you're gonna go up against the best modding clans, you have no chance. One thing that's important about this game is balance. And if the people at the top are all cheating, the bar which is used to measure the balance is artificially set too high. The modding community likes to take credit for certain troop combinations, like, for example, the Queen Walk. And they may be right, maybe they did it first. But that's not a justification to cheat. New strategies and troop compositions will find their way into the game, organically, through experience. Not from hitting the same target over and over again, but from hitting one base after another. The first round of bans haven't even come yet, and well-known modder clans are dropping out of the game. All eyes are on top clans who are frequently accused of having closet modders. For some people, the threat alone is enough to bring them out of the closet. These are exciting times to be playing Clash of Clans, and it will be interesting to see who suddenly can't attack anymore. We've gotten fair play promises from Supercell in the past, but guys, this time is different. It's different because for the first time ever, not only are they acknowledging that these mods exist, They put a warning in the game. So why doesn't Supercell just go after the makers of these mods? Nintendo tried that and lost. They spent 2 years in court and got nowhere. We don't need years of litigation. We need action now. And Supercell is delivering. They're gonna ban people. Cheaters are gonna leave the game, one way or the other. Why the sudden action? I think they're laying the groundwork for something bigger. Whether that be clan war tournaments, arranged matchups, or something completely different. I'm gonna be here for it. And when the dust settles, it'll be interesting to see who else is left in the game. So what do you think about all this? Let me know in the comments below. And until next time, thanks for watching.